All right, welcome everybody back to the Drop Zone podcast. As you see, I'm missing somebody again. Tony is in the hospital. Hope you get better soon, Tony. But I'm here joined by my good friend JDW, also known as Jason, with the JDW podcast, or sorry, Sports Network. And
Close
he's
enough.
been pumping out some good content with the football season. I am very happy to be joined by Jay once again. How you doing, Jay?
Doing all right. Not too bad. Could always, could always be worse, but I'm doing. I'm here. Getting ready to chop up some football. Yeah, thank you for having me on again. Hope Tony gets better soon. Not good here in the you're in the hospital, but wishing you the best. Giving you my prayers every night, every day. One day at a time. You got this, man. But let's go. Let's get ready. Talk about some football, and thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. A crazy week of the NFL again. I mean, it's crazy. It was week 4 already. We're going into week 5, which is kind of sad. Our football season's going by really, really quick. Something you don't want to see really ever. Um, but yeah, other than that, that's okay. Uh, my Steelers game was in Dublin, Ireland. So it was on at 9:30 in the morning here in the US. So kind of a crazy time. Hold on, let me see if I just kind of.
That was a crazy game to
It
begin
was a
with.
crazy game.
Do you have any nails left after that one?
I know,
Gosh
right?
damn. I wouldn't. Mm.
It was a lot closer than what it really should have been. Um, we really let our foot off the gas pedal on that, which really did disappoints and upsets me that happened because we were really controlling this game for most of it. Our defense showed up, which is what I love to see. It just took a few games for our defense to gel, which I didn't expect it to really happen. I'm like, these guys are veterans; they should know how to play football. But it did take them a bit extra time to just get used to working with each other, which is all right with me because it turned into a 21-24 W in Dublin, Ireland. Carson Wentz, he had an all right game, 30 for 46, 350 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. We really stopped Jordan Mason, which is really, really good. Um, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, they caught the ball all over us. It was mostly Jefferson. He had 10 catches for 126 yards, and Jordan Addison had 4 for 114. Aaron Rodgers, we didn't really need him to do much because, again, our defense was really controlling this game for the large part of it. Rodgers, 18 for 22, 200 and a touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell, he got the start because Jalen Warren went out, or he was ruled out with an injury very last minute. They expected him to play, but he did not. But he stepped up in a big way. Did did gain well. He had 19 carries, 99 yards, 2 touchdowns, also 6 receptions, 35. And DK Metcalf, I finally had a DK Metcalf kind of game, 5 for 126 and touchdown. I think this is the most well-rounded win we've had so far. We were really good on both sides of the ball. Again, we did let up, which I don't like. I think we really could have won this game 24-14, but we really just kind of let this game just kind of get way, way, way too close. And now Jalen Ramsey will be out for at least a week with a hamstring injury. So,
Do
uh,
you know anything else more about the hamstring or no? Just like
no, I just
just a hamstring pull.
yeah, and again, like with hamstrings, just to talk about a bit later, with another important
Oh,
player in the AFC North. It could be a 1 week thing or it could be a long, dragged out sort of thing. And for older players like Jalen Ramsey, you gotta kind of be careful with the soft tissue kind of stuff with the hamstring injury. So hopefully it is only like 1 to 2 weeks at the max because he's a very important piece to our defense. So again, I'm happy with getting the win. Should have been a lot. Uh, shouldn't have been as close of a game because we really had this game in control. It felt like, and but yeah, again, I will take this win when I can take it. I don't know if you have any thoughts on this game.
Yeah, I mean, this game was just a complete opposite of what we've seen from the Vikings and the Steelers as a whole. I mean, the Steelers' offensive line held up pretty well versus a solid Vikings pass rush. The Vikings have one of the best defenses in the NFL, coached by Brian Flores, like the disguise things and all that kind of thing. Can't really fool a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who's been around, as long as he has. That's one thing about Rodgers is when you play these defensive coordinators, they like to get aggressive. They like to call out a man coverage. You have a couple man coverage beater. You have DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf. I talked about that in my preview. That this could be the game that DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers get something going. They sure did. But it was really shocking to me how you know the Steelers' run game just came out of nowhere because there was no run game in the first 2 weeks. The Vikings were very good against the run. Maybe I mean both teams traveled, so you can't really say anything about there being a disadvantage there. Both teams are probably off their game a little bit, just from time zone traveling, all that crazy stuff. But the Steelers ran the ball well, and they stopped the run, and and they got after the quarterback really well. I mean, Vikings offense line is really beat up, but nonetheless, still an impressive win because the Steelers showed a lot that we didn't see in the first couple weeks. I think that the Steelers defense is very opportunistic. I think they're going to be good the rest of the year. But I really think they're going to excel and getting takeaways as they have so far. History shows in the NFL when you get a lot of takeaways and early in the season that typically bleeds into the rest of the season. So if they continue to get those turnovers, that's big. And I think the Vikings are one of the more talented teams in the league. So, that's a good win for the Steelers there. We'll have to see how they can continue to do it. I mean, they have coming into the bye this week. Good because Jalen Ramsey being having the hamstring issue, he's getting older, and then playing cornerback as well. That makes it even more difficult. But the Steelers impressed me in this game in a lot of ways. We'll see how they come out of the bye week, but I mean, 3-1, not looking too bad. It's just a matter of fact of could that run game be consistent? Could that defense be consistent? That's my big thing, But we'll see. We'll see what they can do. We'll see what happens as the season goes along. But 3-1, you're starting the season off well, and yeah, I mean, we'll see. That's all I can really say right now.
Yeah. Again, our bye week right now is huge at the moment. We have a visitor in the bottom of our screen. Somebody has joined us from the hospital bed. So I don't know if he's just tuning in to say hi or I don't know what he's doing here right now. I don't know, but we're gonna move on to the Giants game. I don't know if he's wanting to talk about the Giants game. I don't know what he wants to do right now. What I tell you, I mean, what I tell you, the Giants got the W against the really good Chargers team. It was a very, very, very good game. Herbert didn't look really like that good, but I mean, the Giants defense has been good this year. Let's be honest. It's been their offense that's been really hurting them all the time with having Russell Wilson. So Herbert, 23 for 41, 203 yards, one touchdown, two interceptions. Amari Hampton, he had a good game rushing, 12 carries, 128 yards and touchdown. Quentin Johnston, 8 receptions, 98 yards and touchdown. And then Jackson Dart, he managed the game, which is what they needed was him to manage the game and not turn the ball over. He had 13 for 20, 111 touchdown, 10 carries, 54 yards, one touchdown. What's up, Tony? Um, Scatabo, 25 carries for Cam Scatabo and 79 yards. Darius Slayton, 3 receptions, 4 yards. But unfortunately, as much as they won this game, it is at what cost? their star young wide receiver Malik Neighbors tore his ACL and he's out for the season. Um, that's just terrible. He was really excited to have Jackson Dart starting, and for him to tear his ACL, it's like just very, very sad. So we'll have to wait and see for a whole nother year to see this dynamic duo tear it up. But I think Dart looked really good in the first start. I know that you said that if he did win in his first start against this very good Chargers defense, you'd be very impressed with him. I am interested to see your thoughts on him in this game and how it went.
So I like the approach that the Giants took to this game. They didn't put a lot on his plate. They just kind of ran the football. They kind of let everyone else do the work. I'm not saying Dart didn't do any work, but they kind of let the rest of the team kind of help him out instead of trying to force Jackson Dart into this hero role. It was more so like a team effort, and I really enjoyed watching the Giants this game. It was a little tough. I think they were fortunate that they had a little that there was bad play calling for the Chargers because I don't know why the Chargers did not keep on running the football. They were running the football like crazy. That's my big issue with the Giants right now. Their defense is good. Their front seven may be one of the best in the NFL. Brian Burns is awesome. Dexter Lawrence is great. I mean, that front, Abdul Carter, that front seven is gross. That front seven can get after any quarterback in the league. But the run defense is an issue. That's my big issue with the Giants is that run defense is bad. But nonetheless, back to Jackson Dart. I was impressed with the way he managed the game. Like you said, the Giants didn't really have him, be the feature. Didn't really have him have to put the team on his back. They helped him out. They didn't really have him throw the football a lot unless they really had to. I thought Jackson Dart looked okay. He made some good throws. He ran the football well, and that's going to help with the offensive line as well. When you have a quarterback back there that can really move around, the defensive lineman, the defensive line has to stay really disciplined. They can't just go rush the passer like crazy. They have to stay disciplined in the rush lanes, and that definitely helps with the offensive line a little bit. But I think there's going to be a breakout star in this Giants team. I think this Malik Neighbors injury, I think it's going to be a blessing in disguise in a way because Jalen Hyatt, I think that Jalen Hyatt is going to take his game to the next level this year because if you go back to watch Jackson Dart, he made I believe it's Trey Harris. He Trey Harris with Jackson Dart was an absolutely wonderful duo and a big deep threat. And Jalen Hyatt's a deep threat, and Wandale is too. But I think Trey Harris is a little more similar to Hyatt here. I think that Hyatt is going to have a big breakout season now. It hurts seeing Malik Neighbors go down. That stadium, you could rename that stadium Death Life. I mean, heck, it's right there. It claims ACLs and Achilles every single week, man. It's bad. They have to do something about the turf. But nonetheless, Jackson Dart, I was impressed because they didn't put too much on his plate. So we'll just take it one week at a time. I believe they have the Saints this weekend. That's going to be a game. I think that's going to be a pretty good game. Honestly, the Saints might be the best 0-4 team in the NFL. They are actually a little better than what people may think just because they're 0-4. Spencer Rattler has been looking good, but I really don't think Rattler is going to hold up against that front. But Jackson Dart, not too bad. I was impressed. I didn't put a lot on his plate. Ease him into it. Let him take one game at a time. But I know he already injured his hamstring. I heard as well. So a lot of hamstrings, a lot of soft tissue, and just there's a lot of injuries so far this season in general. There's actually quite a bit. But we'll see with the hamstring. Because is he going to be as mobile? He really will have to rely on the arm, what he's looking at, and reading the defense. So, if he can't move the same, then we'll see how he fares then and how this offense is going to play then. But it's also early. It's the first game that there's, the Chargers had no film on him going into this game. And that's definitely a factor. But so we'll see, as the season progresses, as he goes along, if he can evolve his game and as defenses and defensive coordinators drop their game plans, start, seeing what they can maybe attack, seeing some of his weaknesses, where he's not playing well, where he's not throwing the ball well at. We'll see. But I just think that with Cam Scatterboo and then Dart's running ability, if he get healthy, I think that's a really strong dynamic right there. And Tyrone Tracy is awesome. Wando Robinson is a guy, is a really fun gadget guy. You can do a lot of things with. There are a lot of things that you can do with this offense with Jackson Dart. And we'll just see, how he revolves, how how he is going to respond to defensive coordinators drawing up game plans specifically for him. If he could combat that and continue to play well, even if even once those game plans come alive, once there's a film out there for a couple games. But we'll see. He impressed me game one, and we'll see how the season progresses.
Yeah, this offense, it looked a lot different with Jackson Dart. I think it looked a lot better with Jackson Dart. And yet the Saints is going to be a good test because it is people really think he will take it. That like this game won't like a lot of people think that this game won't be close. Just again based off of records and how good Jackson Dart looked in the first game, but the Saints put up a good fight against the Bills. So we will definitely see this upcoming week and see how did they face off against each other with Rattler and Jackson Dart. Uh, I know you have a lot to talk about your Colts, so I'm not going to waste any time. Um, your Colts, one of your Colts players is the dummy of the week. And I know you know who I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
They lost by 7, and that could totally be different if this one player did not be an idiot.
Right. And then there's another play that he had that kind of took off more points. It was a big Jonathan Taylor run. Not sure if you saw it. Big JT run. It was like pretty much the same run he had versus the Titans, breaking a ton of tackles, just like crazy, and it was called back for holding. So that's a 14-point swing right there. And that was the same player, AD Mitchell. But
dummy. Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
start from this. Did you have something to say first before I go on?
No, you go ahead because it's your team. You could take it away, Jay.
The outcome, the end result, the final score of this game sucked because we had the opportunity to beat one of the best teams in the NFL. We were there. We fought with them all game long, and that's what impressed me. It's the little mistakes here and there. You clean up some of the penalties. You don't fumble. You don't celebrate before you get over the goal line. JT did the same exact thing last year. I'm not sure if you remember that. He did the same exact thing last year versus the Broncos. So I got immediate flashbacks to that. But this team still hung in there with one of the best teams in the NFL. I truly believe the Rams might be the best team in the NFL. I mean, Matthew Stafford is ungodly. You have Puka Nacua, Vontae Adams. I mean, and the defense is so good. You know, they might have the best front seven in defense, and they might have the best passing attack in the NFL. I mean, the run game is good. The offensive line's been playing well. It wouldn't shock me to see this Rams team in the Super Bowl. But the Colts, Daniel Jones, he played a decent game. He had 2 interceptions, probably should have had 3. But those were just insane plays by Cameron Curl. Absolutely freak athletic plays. But Daniel Jones still played good enough football. I mean, he had that touchdown erase from AD Mitchell. He still manages offense. I'm not looking for Daniel Jones to be this superstar, big time play, this superstar crazy difference maker, but he's doing enough. He's running the offense well, and that's what you look for when you're looking for a quarterback. I mean, you're not always going to have a Mahomes or an Allen, but Daniel Jones is running the offense exactly how Steichen wants. And Jones, for how the numbers looked, for the 2 interceptions he had, I still thought he had a pretty good game. The Colts were in it till the end. He didn't unravel. He didn't continue to make mistake after mistake, after mistake like I've seen in New York, a couple times, especially, towards the end of his tenure there. So the Colts, my big thing is the defense being consistent. I think that the offense is I don't think we have a hole on the offense. I think this might be the most complete offense the Colts have had in a long, 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 long time. There's no weakness. There's nothing I could point to and say, hey, we need this. No. Offense is wonderful. They did a good job. And they ran the football pretty well. And the Rams really limited the Eagles' rush offense the week prior. Colts did a pretty good job. Even though, JT only had 74, that big touchdown run wasn't taken off. That's like another 40, 35, 40 yards. So, and the Colts offensive line did struggle a little bit, but Jones still played well under that pressure all day long. You scored when you needed to late. Daniel Jones did throw the interception late. He threw an interception to start the game and end the game. Definitely no good time at all, but to end the game, to start the game, not good at all. But the Colts kept it in there. The defense is good enough. They held Matthew Stafford. They did get fortunate a couple times with some penalties because, the Rams were driving down the field all day long, except for a stretch in the third quarter. So the defense was stepping up when it needed to most, and then the offense stepped up. The most until the very last offensive play for the Rams. Tutu Atwell, cornerback, just tripped and wide open touchdown. That's it. But there were only 10 guys on the field. Lou Anarumo, I thought Lou Anarumo called a good game, even though defense looked tough. But how are you going to – it's difficult enough to play defense with 11 guys versus the Rams. And you're telling me that you're going to try and do it with 10? That's an error. That I cannot defend him with. That's just ridiculous. But the Colts hung around with one of the best teams in the NFL, if not the best. So I genuinely believe this Colts team is legit. And we'll see. We got the Raiders this weekend. Could we bounce back? Could we, now that teams know we're good and we're coming off a loss in LA, how do we respond? That's going to be my big question. How could this team respond? How could this offense get on course how it was the first couple of weeks? Could they do that again? Could they regain that mojo? I think they will. But Colts are looking good. I really enjoyed watching this game, even though the final score was not what I wanted. But I also kind of rather get that loss out of the way. It feels like when you're undefeated, there's that much more pressure. Like, damn, we haven't lost yet. So it's like, okay, we got that loss out of the way. There's a big sigh of relief. Okay, it sucks, yeah, that you lost, but still, once you get the loss out of the way, that takes away a lot of pressure. That loss is out of the way, and now we see what we need to work on. Penalties here and there. I think it was a good experience for this young team to have this loss. So they know what it feels like when you make stupid mistakes like that. That when you make mistakes like that versus one of the best teams in the NFL, a Super Bowl caliber team, that's what's going to happen. But the Colts impressed me, man. I'm excited for this team this year. This team is going to make some noise this year. But that's all I got.
Yeah, they're definitely good proving me wrong, because I'll be honest, I didn't expect this game to be that crazy. Because again, I've seen your vid, so I'm like, I know he's not very high on the defense right now. I know that's your thing of like that could be why we lose games. That's really not why they lost games. It was stupid mistakes of, like you said, 10 men on the field, holding, and then the 80 Mitchell fumble in the end zone. So that could have been another touchdown for Daniel Jones. Another hit to your defense. I don't know if you saw this. It pretty much just came out. Xavier Howard has retired. That is crazy news. I mean, I'm glad that I have you on, so I can ask you how you feel. I mean, I'll be honest. I haven't watched the Colts game really. I've seen highlights. I don't know how Xavier Howard has looked this year. If he's looked good or bad. I know he's been one of the best in the league, but I want your thoughts on Xavier Howard retiring. And again, this is breaking news in the past half hour. It came out.
Right. So Xavier Howard did not look good at all. I mean, he was on Puka all day, and if the kind of day that Puka had, Puka was just having his way. He was doing whatever he wanted on Xavier
170 yards, 170 yards and a touchdown. Whew.
But it's pick your poison with the Rams. You have Puka and Devontae, but Howard just. I feel like a lot of people were crapping on him a bit too much. I do understand, why. If you're going to get beat that bad, continue to get beat all day long. There was a time where the Rams, where Matthew Stafford overthrew a throw where he had a receiver wide open there. It's just, who else do we have to step up we had the guy Jalen Jones. Someone got hurt before the season. I thought that he was going to step in the cornerback too nicely, but he got hurt. Might be coming back soon. He's struggling with the hamstring himself. It sucks. I thought that Howard is an interesting. Maybe he's not what he was. He's nowhere near what he was. But I thought he would maybe give you a good play once in a while, maybe an interception, maybe a turnover. But maybe it's not worth how many big plays he's given up. He's just getting older, man. Father time's catching up with him. He took a year off because it seemed like he wanted to spend time with his family and his kids, and it seems like that's where he wants to continue. That's what he wants to continue to do. He wants to stay home with the family. There's no point in going out there every game if you're gonna look like that, and the media's gonna be talking about you like that every week. It's not worth it at that point, I guess. But all right, but Xavier, I mean, it is what it is. He's older, just hasn't been playing well. It's just I'm asking who else is going to step up. It's my big question. You have Mekhi Blackton. He's been on the team for barely a month. You traded for him from the Vikings. He's looked all right, except for that trip. Trips happen. It happens to the best of them. But it sucks. But at the same time, in the same token, it's gonna give someone else an opportunity to step up.
Yeah, with Kenny Moore still out, as far as I know, he's still out with the injury as well.
Signed Mike Hilton though.
Yeah, so there's definitely a lot of room, like you said, for an opportunity for somebody to step it up there. Wish Xavier Howard well and in his retirement and spending time with his family, which is understandable. I think he kind of fell out of love with the game, and when you do that, there's almost no real need to keep playing. Family is way more important than your health in your career at that time, especially if you don't really love the game anymore. For you wondering, here are the stats. Daniel Jones went 24 for 33, 262, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Again, it could be 2 touchdowns, but A.D. Mitchell, he was not very smart. Jonathan Taylor, 17 for 76. A.D. had 3 for 96 in the fumble. Tyler Warren, I don't know where you guys got this guy from, but he's been really good this year. Tyler Warren, tight end.
Hey man, he's our first round pick. He's bad.
He's been really good. 5 receptions for 70 yards. Michael Pittman found the end zone again. 5 for 41 and a touchdown. Stafford, he kind of threw all over your defense, I'll be honest. Like you said, they were moving up and down the field without a problem, really. He had 29 for 41, 375, and 3 touchdowns. Kyle Williams, 13 carries, 77, and a fumble. Puka, like I said, he had 13 for 170 and a touchdown. Tutu had that 88-yard catch and a touchdown. And Devontae had 4 for 56 and a touchdown. Again, all in all, you guys look really, really good. I will definitely be eating my words for what I said at the beginning of the year with my prediction, and I'll own it. Like I own every time I am wrong. I will own it when I am wrong. You guys look a lot better than what I really expected you guys to. But again, I took that off of how Daniel Jones looked. Yes. And again, like we all have been saying, it could be just a different system sort of thing, almost like a Sam Darnold, like a Geno Smith. In a different system, certain QBs really just thrive. And I think in this system, I mean, as we see in this system, he's really, really doing it well. So again, like you said, next week against the Raiders, you guys gotta get a bounce back win there to go to 4-1. Any last comments on this game from the Colts fan himself?
No.
No?
I said really all I need to say. Colts look good. They're in it for real. So come January, watch out. Got to get there first, though. Got to get there 1st.
Yeah, easy there, Jay, man. It's week 5. All right. Eagles and Bucks, 31-25. Eagles keep finding a way to just win games. Sorry, excuse me. Jalen Hurts only threw for 130 yards. He also rushed for 62. He had 2 passing touchdowns. Saquon found the end zone. Dallas Goedert got those 2 touchdowns, 4 for 37. A kind of a storyline out of this game. Devontae and AJ Brown both only had 2 receptions for a combined total of 36 yards. We'll talk about that in a second. And then my guy Baker Mayfield, 22 for 40, 289, 2 touchdowns and interception. At the worst time possible, he had the interception as they were driving, and he just kind of tried to do too much in that situation. Bucky Irving, 15 carries, 63 yards. He also had a fumble, but then he came back on the next possession, 5 receptions for 102 yards and touchdown. Emeka Ibuka, 4 receptions, for 101 yards and a touchdown. He's been a real stud wide receiver as a rookie. He's been really, really good. Again, this Eagles team is not flashy. It isn't nothing crazy. They could really be. There's a hot take, but they could really be 1-3. Again, if certain plays go a different way, they could definitely be 1-3. We think last week with the Rams game, they blocked 2 kicks. So that's that play. And then in week 1, if CeeDee Lamb doesn't drop those 3 passes, it could have been a different outcome. They haven't looked flashy. They haven't looked impressive. Hurts hasn't looked impressive. And again, AJ Brown with 2 for 7 yards and Devontae Smith 2 for 29. And then AJ Brown went on either X or Instagram, and he posted a tweet with a quote, something about saying if you're not wanted, just be quiet. If they don't want to listen, then just be quiet. I mean, he has done this stunt a few seasons in a row now, where if he doesn't get the ball, he gets upset, which is understandable because I mean you are one of the top wide receivers, but at a certain time you got to just shut up. Like your team's winning. I understand you want to be productive. I was watching this game actually, and they threw it to him 3 separate times. And he just didn't seem to give a shit if the ball was thrown to him. He didn't really seem to try and fight through any contact to even catch it. I have a lot more questions than good feelings about this Eagles team. I don't think, again, like I said, they're that flashy. They're one of the most underwhelming 4-0 teams in a very long time, and I'll say it probably since the Steelers back a few years ago when we started off like 10-0 or something. We weren't that great. We were not a flashy team, but we were winning games. That's what these guys are doing. Again, they could easily be 1-3 right now. We could be talking completely different about this team. So yeah, again, that's my takeaway from this game. It's just like they got. I don't want to say lucky because in sports there is such thing as luck in sports, but they just again they haven't looked good. I think the Bucks looked a lot better than they did. It's just the Eagles found a way to win, and again Baker threw that interception there late with about 7 minutes left as they were driving down the field, and they just never got back in that spot that they needed to get into. So again, Eagles another close win. I think all that luck or whatever the mojo voodoo magic that they're doing to win these games is going to run out eventually, and they're going to show their true strides here soon in this season.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. But the Eagles did this last year too. I've been thinking the same thing, but I mean, I feel like it's better to. I mean, they're not playing at their best, but they're still beating the Bucks, the Rams. I mean, that's impressive in with itself, but you can't rely on those weird situations. The Bucks almost got back into it. The Rams were beating them pretty good in the first half. Almost lost to the Cowboys. It's just a match, and I think they're going to lose this weekend. But they just keep finding ways. And I know like the passing game is inconsistent. It's just like this team can't put together 4 full quarters of football. It's the defense playing one bad half, the offense playing one bad half, and then it's just completely switching. You got to find a way to be consistent. You got to find a way to get the ball to your playmakers. It feels like the Eagles play best under pressure when they were down versus the Rams as much as they were impressive, but the block kick definitely helped them in that situation. I don't know. Like it feels like the Eagles start this way every year. I think they'll figure it out, but it feels like they're not getting as much pressure as they did in the past, which is absolutely making a difference. When your defensive line isn't as deep as it has been, I mean, players get tired. Some players haven't been making as much of an impact. Nolan Smith being out for quite some time. They just signed Zadarius Smith. It's just a matter of they need to find consistency. That's the thing with the Eagles. Like, we see the highs, we see how good they can be, but they can't put it all together. And that's really all I have from the Eagles in this game. I mean, the Bucks fought back into it a little bit too late. They have to, they're kind of similar. They're going to have to start putting, even though they're 3-1 now, they have to, they've been winning games by the skin of their teeth. So they really got to pick things up, as well. But just two teams that could be competing late in January, but they have to find some consistency. It feels like the two best teams by far in the NFC right now is the Lions and the Rams, because it feels like the Eagles and the Bucks are consistent. The Packers, I mean, I know we're going to talk about that game in a little bit, but it's just consistency. That's, if there's one word I need to use that the Eagles need to figure something out on is being consistent. That's it.
Absolutely. I mean, again, like you said with the Bucks, I should have mentioned that too. Their 3 wins came on a last-second field goal. That's, I think, the first team in NFL history that started 3-0, that got 3 wins on a last-second field goal from their kicker. Again, Eagles need to be consistent. People won't want to hear it, but they're not crazy right now. Like you said, I think Rams and the Lions are the 2 best in the NFL, or sorry, NFC at the moment. You know, they just got to look better for all 4 quarters, and right now they haven't, and it's gonna hurt them eventually. Yes, I think the offense looked the best when they were down, which is not a good thing, really. I mean, it's a good thing, but they need to be good all game long, and they really weren't in the Rams game. And again, they got those 2 block kicks, but a game that I expected to be a lot better than what it was. The Ravens and the Chiefs. Chiefs, I think, are back. They had a rough first 2 weeks, and then they beat the Giants, and then now they beat the Ravens 20-37 at home. Lamar, this is the player I was talking about, 14 for 20, 147 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He had 6 carries for 48 and a fumble, and he left the game with a hamstring injury that is probably going to put him out, 2 reports, 2 to 3 weeks. So the Ravens are going to put out Cooper Rush these next few weeks. Justice Hill, 3 receptions, 3 carries, 76 yards. He also had 5 carries for 41-yard touchdown. He got a rush touch as well. Derrick Henry, underwhelming performance again. 8 carries for 42. Zay Flowers, 7 for 74. Patrick Mahomes is looking at MVP Patrick Mahomes now. 25 for 37, 270 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Isaiah Pacheco finally found the end zone, but that was on the receiving end. Xavier Worthy had 5. Welcome back, Xavier Worthy. He had 5 receptions for 83 yards. And Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Tyquan Thornton all caught a touchdown from Patrick Mahomes. The big takeaway again is Lamar. In the AFC North, I don't want to get too excited, but the Steelers should run away with the AFC North at the moment. If we let this opportunity slip, this is very. I will not be happy with this one. Again, we got Bengals and Jake Browning looking very inept against the Broncos there on Monday Night Football. It was bad. Troy Aikman and Buck, they didn't want to be there at all. They were disgusted by that performance. And then with the Browns, they have now turned to the rookie Dylan Gabriel. They benched Joe Flacco, which is kind of crazy. I mean, we could talk about that after we're done talking about all these games, because it is news. It is kind of crazy. And now we got Lamar out with the Ravens. So, again, in his hamstring, he is a very explosive running quarterback, and that's something that if you take away the hamstring or the leg, any part of the legs, that's where it becomes an issue, and then it can turn into something worse. So, I hope that the again, as a Steelers fan, I'm not going to be biased and really hope for the worst on people because that's never a good thing. I do hope that the Ravens take this seriously and they don't rush him back right away. I mean, look, you started 1-3. It's not looking good right now. If you guys lose these next two, it's bro, if the Browns still steal it with fucking Dylan Gabriel and Shador, I'll be very unhappy. What?
Dylan Gabriel's the man. Everyone's gonna
Yeah,
find
but
out really quick that Dylan Gabriel is the flipping man.
no, but I'm not saying that he isn't. I'm just saying I don't think he's better than Rodgers, and I think we have a better situation to do it to at least do something with AFC North. That that's just my thing. If we let a rookie have it, I'll be very unhappy.
Yeah.
Um, again, I hope that the Ravens don't rush him back because I just don't think it'll be smart. Again, they played the Texans this week, and then next week I don't really know who they play yet. Um, but yeah, and then if they start like 1-5, it's almost like there is a point to bring him back because there's also a lot of the season left. But I don't know. It's a very tough situation. Again, a hamstring injury is very something that you don't want to rush back and take lightly. So because it could just lead to more and more injuries. So again, Ravens gotta manage that very well. But the Chiefs look like they're back right now, and everyone that counted them out early, I think it's eating their words at the moment. So that's my takeaways from this game.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see about the Chiefs. I think they have a really tough matchup this weekend. The Jaguars are a very good football team. The Chiefs haven't been able to run the football. They haven't been able to, to stop the run themselves. Travis Etienne, whew, and the way the Jaguars defense is playing, I don't know. We're gonna see if that Chiefs offense is for real this weekend playing against the Jaguars. If the Chiefs offense put up another performance like they did versus the Ravens, or at least decent and look competent, look pretty good, then okay, I'm ready to declare that. And with Xavier Worthy being back, that helps big time. But the Jaguars are no joke, and I'm actually probably gonna go with the Jaguars, in the upset for this game over the Chiefs. Just but we'll see about the Chiefs. But the Ravens, Lamar is probably going to be out until after the bye week. They have 2 games and then they have the bye, which is within your 2 to 3 week window. And then you bring them back after that. You're 1-5, and we'll see where the division is at and the rest of the conference is at that point. I think Lamar will come in and play, but at the same token, do they play Lamar now? Because you're already 1-3. You can't, you're
Yeah.
playing the Texans this weekend. If you don't play Lamar this weekend versus the Texans, I don't think you win, because that Texans defense may be the very best in football, along with this. There are a lot of good defenses this year, but Texans especially, you got to watch out. Cooper Rush, he's a good backup, but he's not. He'll step in for a couple weeks, and Ravens are really gonna count on. I almost said Mark Henry, Derrick Henry, but my thing with the Ravens is they might be so desperate now, be like, okay, go out there and give it your best and see what you can do. And I'm worried if they do put him in there, he's gonna get re-injured. And a big part of his game is moving around and running around, right? So if he's having an issue with this hamstring, he's not really gonna be able to do that. We'll see. I mean, the Chiefs and Ravens game showed me, even the Chiefs defense is looking good, but you could out physical that Chiefs defense. Ravens just couldn't do it. They haven't been that physical team so far this year, and we'll see. Ravens are struggling. Struggling, as we all know. But they had that big explosion versus the Browns, and the Browns have a nasty defense, so the potential is there. We just need to see consistency. We just need to see something, and I think they have something more beyond of what's able to be fixed this season.
Yeah. And their defense has looked very bad this season. I understand there's a lot of injuries on that and the football, but man, their defense has looked really bad. They've given up a lot of points. Again, other than against the Browns, they've given up a absolute shit ton of points this season, which is very unlike a Ravens defense that we know. They could stop the best teams, and they really haven't this season. Again, when you think Bills, Lions, and the Chiefs, some of the top 3 teams in the NFL, they can't stop anything with them right now. So they have a lot of problems with this team, and I think there's going to be a lot of tough choices that they're going to have to make about this team because it's really they've had the best team in the NFL to me in the past few seasons, and they just haven't done nothing really with it other than go to the AFC playoffs. And other than that, I mean, that's nothing to really be too excited about because the Steelers with lesser teams have done the same exact thing. So I don't know. Ravens got to figure it out. Chiefs seem to be figuring it out. We will see how they fare against again a good Jacksonville Jaguars defense. A bit of a surprising team, honestly. Um, and then the game of so far, I think the year maybe or it was definitely game of the week. I wouldn't say game of the year because that I think that Bills Ravens game was definitely the game of the year in week 1. But Packers and Cowboys ended in a 40-40 tie. Yes, folks. 40-40. That is the highest scoring tie. And I think since I think I saw like a graphic, 1961. That's the highest scoring tie since 1961. There was absolutely zero defense played in this game. Jordan Love, 31 for 43, 337 and 3 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs had 2 rushing touchdowns and 86 yards. Romeo Doubs had a career game, 6 receptions, 58 yards and 3 touchdowns. Tucker Kraft, 5 for 56. And Dak Prescott, Tony's guy, Dak Prescott, uh, you know, he's looked good this year. I saw someone on ESPN. Someone said he's playing like an MVP level, but they're 1-3. I actually don't disagree with that one because you think of Joe Burrow last year with how the Bengals looked. He was still playing really, really well, but they kept losing all the time. And if they weren't losing, then he'd be on the MVP level. Dak's playing really, really well. 31 for 40, 319, 3 touchdowns. Javonte had a rushing touchdown and 85 yards. George Pickens, it hurts to see him do well because he could be on our team right now. 8 receptions for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Tolbert had 61 receiving yards, and Jake Ferguson also found the end zone on 7 receptions for 40 yards. Man, what a game! I was listening to this game at work, but I was watching it at home as well before I went into work. Um, it was tough to even not watch this game because it was. That's sometimes what makes a game good is a no defense. As much as it hurts to see, again, for defensive people, seeing that no defense is being played, but when you put up 80 points in a game total, it makes it very exciting for as a fan experience because sometimes defensive games do get boring to some people. So to see how the scoring is really uh, refreshing for some people to watch. And again, us fantasy people, we love seeing these guys put up big numbers because it helps us out. So, crazy game. Packers again. They had the great Week 1 win, and it's just been kind of like they lost to the Browns. They couldn't beat the Cowboys. Again, Cowboys are almost the opposite of the Eagles. If certain plays go their way, they could be 3-1 maybe. So, uh, again, this game kind of nuts. No defense. I can't even say anything about any defense really because I mean we know that the Cowboys have no defense anyway, so that doesn't shock us. But the Packers couldn't stop them at all. So, uh, Packers. I mean, I want to get your opinion on this last play though for the Packers in the game. Jordan Love didn't spike the ball, which is kind of weird. I mean, they almost lost the game. He ran a play with 8 seconds left, dropped back, threw it in the back of the end zone, and thankfully it hit a defender's back. So then the clock stopped with 1 second left. and they were able to kick the game-tying field goal. To me, bad clock management, bad coaching management on that end. Just again, Jordan Love being the one to yes, he didn't throw a touchdown, but he didn't throw an interception, but he almost costed them the game at the most important part of the game. So a lot of questions still for this Packers offense and Jordan Love, and the Cowboys thankfully didn't lose, but they didn't win the game either. So a crazy game, crazy game.
Yeah. The Packers have one big issue on their hands. Awesome defense, awesome roster. I say they're a quarterback away. It's because Jordan Love just isn't it. I mean, he's way too inconsistent from play to play. In a game where he, like you're saying, mismanaging the clock, not spiking the ball there. I mean, this game shouldn't have even really been close. I'm not sure what happened to the Packers defense. I think you just got to give credit to Dak Prescott, what he's playing. God damn. But Jordan Love is their issue, man. I mean, I know he can't play defense, and the defense didn't play their best of games. But it felt like Caleb Williams, the other quarter, Russell Wilson, everyone has completely torched that Cowboys defense. And, Jordan Love did do good, but he didn't play to the level that he should be at. He didn't play to the level that a lot of people expect him to. I just don't think Jordan Love is a quarterback for them. And I think that's their biggest issue. The defense is wonderful. They have big time talent everywhere. Maybe the offensive line hasn't been as good. They do have a couple of injuries, but nonetheless, the offensive line is still playing good enough, and Jordan Love needs to step up, be more consistent, make some of these throws. Read the defense a little better. I think, his accuracy is so wildly inconsistent, and it's just he's like indecisive, and Love just ain't it. That's the problem. But the Cowboys, man, way to stick into it. What way to stick in this game? Because I mean, they were down, weird score, 13-2, something to 2.
Yeah.
I'm like, how the hell did the Cowboys get a safety, bro? But
they didn't.
Oh wait, how was it 2?
They got a blocked field goal. Oh wait, no, it was blocked field goal, and then they returned it for 2 points.
Oh, the extra point thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan Love's the issue, man. That's it. That's all I got for the Packers. Jordan Love's the issue, but stop trying to be a combination of Favre and Rodgers. Yeah, he just he makes a lot of boneheaded mistakes too. I mean, I don't know, but that's all I really got for that game, and I don't really have too much more to say about it. It's just that Jordan Love is an issue. Didn't really help that his defense didn't play well, but I mean, Packers team in general, 2 weeks in a row you're struggling against teams that you should have beaten. You should have beaten the brakes off the Cowboys, but you didn't. Ties are ridiculous. Don't like them. Can't stand them. I think they should play until there's a winner. It's just, what's the point? After the game, it's just like there's you don't know how to feel. You saw the players, the fans were dead quiet. You didn't win, so you're not getting excited. You didn't lose, so you're not upset. It's like, huh? It's like you don't really know how to comprehend a tie. It's just weird. But very disappointed by the Packers so far this year. And the Cowboys, they're a couple plays away from being 3-1 and being right in the mix there in the, and at the top of the NFC East.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Love, I've been saying it. I've been saying it for a while. I like his game, but he's just way too inconsistent. The interceptions really. Yeah, Jerry, you was thrilled with the tie. I don't know what he's happy about. His team on the defensive end sucks. Offensively has looked good in these first 4 games, but it doesn't amount to wins, and that's what matters in this league. Again, we'll talk about the news of the Browns and Dylan Gabriel. They're going with Gabriel, and they're keeping Joe Flacco as their backup. So Shador's staying at the 3rd string, and he had comments today in response to Rex Ryan criticizing him on Get Up. And I have a little rant on Shador. I'm not gonna take credit for this, but I'll kind of add on to it. Sam Acho, he was on his podcast with LaShawn McCoy, and he's exactly right. He said he doesn't want to be hearing from a third string quarterback. And I am 100% on that. Because you're a Colts fan, I'm sure you probably do know, but a lot of lesser fans don't know. Jay, who's your guys' third string quarterback?
Riley Leonard.
There you go. Again, I would know that you would know because you're a huge fan of them, but the average fan wouldn't know.
Right.
I could tell you ours is Skylar Thompson. But again, we study this stuff for a living, so we should know who our third string quarterback is. But the fan wouldn't really know.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of fans don't know who their third string quarterback is, which is understandable because it's a third string quarterback. We don't hear from them. They hold the clipboard and they watch film. And they stand on the sideline and say, "Good job, guys." We don't hear them in the media all the time.
No.
And his character is really showing here.
Selfish. Very
Yes.
selfish.
And again, it's proving why all those teams passed up on him, and he fell from a lot of people's consensus number one overall pick, or at least first round pick. I will say that, falling all the way to the 6th round and getting picked 144th. I mean, you, and then he gets into, or he has those 2 speeding tickets in the off season, and then he's now acting like a child because he's not getting playing time.
Earn it. Shut up and earn it.
I understand that your daddy was the coach at Colorado, and that's almost the only reason why you even started in college. Because I got to be honest, I mean, just because his last name is Sanders, it's not showing anything in the NFL right now. Coaches don't care. Yeah, like exactly. But like I'm just saying, you're not going to know who your third string quarterback is just because
Right.
we don't hear from them. We don't see them in the media all the time.
Right.
But just because it is Shedeur Sanders, they interview him all the time and he doesn't shut up. I would just say no. Go interview Joe Flacco. Go interview Dylan Gabriel because they're ahead of me. Because he's just opening his mouth. And he's just really not doing himself any good. He's not handling the media very well.
No.
Again, I'm excited to see what Gabriel brings to this team. They're playing in London against the Vikings this week. Again, that Browns defense is really, really good, so I think they can kind of hold off this Vikings offense. So it's just up to Dylan Gabriel. They still have weapons there on the offense. The rookie running back, Judkins,
Junkins.
he has looked really, really good in the first 4 weeks. He's looked amazing. Jerry Jeudy's still there. Njoku's still there. So Dylan Gabriel has weapons to throw to. It's just a matter of getting it to them. And I think, again, the mobileness of Dylan Gabriel will help this offense. Almost like with the Jackson Dart situation, you have someone that's more mobile in the pocket. It helps the offensive line. It helps the offense just move a lot better, and it looks a lot better on the field. So, again, I just think it'll be better, and I think that the Browns are doing the right thing. Shedeur, until you prove yourself that you can handle first the media, then we will put you on the field. But until you can handle the media, you're not getting any playing time on the field.
I'm so excited for Dylan Gabriel.
Yes.
So excited.
Yes, exactly. Like Rex Ryan said, instead of sitting back, grab a seat in the front and show you want to be the starter. Exactly. Go on the practice field. Prove yourself. Just shut up. Just just be quiet. He just hasn't learned to just be quiet, and I think you used the right word, just being selfish. And again, I know you're very excited to see Dylan Gabriel play. You study relentlessly these QBs and players that come out of college, and I I even know it from day one. Dylan Gabriel's a lot more talented than Sanders. Um, Again, and Sanders just has the same last name as his dad, which is why he is so even well known right now. So, other than being an idiot with the speeding tickets and how he's acting right now, so again, you could take it away. You definitely studied Dylan Gabriel a lot coming out of college. So,
Did you see the other media people at his locker or like in the locker room? They were asking him questions and he was like moving his lips like he was talking, but he wasn't talking.
yeah, like he was a mime. He was being a mime.
He's just looking for attention. You know, he made it
Mhm.
about him. Dylan Gabriel, man, I mean, this is a kid that, you know, he rose up to expectations um in Oregon. Started with Oklahoma, had some issues there, ended up going to Oregon, and wow. I mean, the way he rose up to expectations, went through the fire. He's got an arm. He's got an arm. He's accurate. He knows what he's looking at. I mean, heck, he played. You know, he played with Oregon for a couple years. He played in the in the Big Ten the last year there. So he played Penn State, played some really tough defenses. So coming to the NFL, he is primed and ready to step in and play good. You know, it's probably going to take some time for him to learn. You know, that's just the nature of rookies. Not all rookies come in right away and light the world on fire. But I do think Dylan Gabriel is going to come in and he is going to give the Browns a competent offense that defenses have to really respect. And I'm telling you, if people do not respect the Browns right now, if they aren't talking about the Browns, the Steelers better be on their A game. They better keep winning, and I think they will. But don't forget that Browns defense is gross. They can run the football well. They have a couple weapons here and there too. Tight ends are really good. I mean, this Browns team I felt like is a quarterback away. You know, maybe an offensive lineman or two, maybe one weapon. Even though they have really good tight ends, they have Njoku, Harold Fannin Jr. I mean, he's been playing well for a rookie tight end. There's a lot of weapons they have in this offense, and Dylan Gabriel stepping into a good situation. He's not under fire. He's not expected to go out and win. People aren't going to be as down on his throats. But if he just gets one win, start building that momentum, and you have that opportunity this weekend versus the Vikings. I mean, I love Gabriel. He's shown so many good things at Oregon. Started his career at Oklahoma too, but watch out. He weathered the storm. Frosty the Snowman can lead that team better than Flacco. I mean, Flacco, the thing about Flacco is, the first drive, absolutely incredible. I mean, it seems like he, wherever he is at late in his career, he did it with the Colts last year. The Colts always scored on their first drive. Scripted plays is absolutely phenomenal, but once it's after the scripted plays and he always starts the game hot. First drive, touchdown or field goal. They almost always score, teams under him. But after that, it's completely the opposite. There's nothing, it's gone, no more scripted plays. But I'm telling you, watch out. Dylan Gabriel is going to come in here. And this is a guy that may, if he comes in and plays at least decent, this is a guy that can potentially contest for Rookie of the Year. That's a bold take, but it's possible.
I think that the Browns have handled this QB situation the best I've seen in a very long time. I do not have any problem with them starting Joe Flacco for 4 weeks and just having Dylan Gabriel watch and learn. I think it's been just a great way that they've just eased him into the NFL, and it's just been perfect. And it's like, all right, we're 1-3. The defense is doing what we expect it to do. It's just now we need the offense to step up, and then they put him in. But I think they're going to do almost like what the Giants did. They're not going to put it all on his shoulders because they have a run game that can get it done. And Dylan Gabriel is a mobile quarterback. He can get out of the pocket as well and run the ball as well. So it'll keep the defense on their toes. So then he can have more passing lanes and be able to throw the ball down the field, which is what he's really good at. So again, I think that the Browns really, really played this situation pretty much a plus because they put Shador at the third string like they should have. Dylan Gabriel at the 2, and then Joe Flacco at the 1. And again, just see in the first 4 weeks, see how it's going, and then just be like, all right, Dylan, there you go. But we're going to do it the right way. Kevin Stefanski is such a great coach. He's won coach of the year twice for a reason because he is a great coach. He handles situations perfectly. And another example, he has handled it so well. And I'm excited to see what this kid can do against that.
It's a lefty
It's a
too.
fairly, yeah, against a fairly good Vikings defense. I think he will be all right, and they will handle it the correct way. All right, I don't think there's really any more news. We talked about Xavier Howard and the Brown situation there with QBs. I'm gonna start to go. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see on that. We're gonna go into our picks of last week, and then we'll talk about the games for this upcoming week, and then that'll be it. That's all we got. Jay, I know that you did a whole video on your week picks and
Yeah.
predictions. Again, I advise people to go over to your channel, check it out. Give it a look see. Again, JW Sports Network on YouTube, doing really well over there. A lot of views incoming, a lot of subscribers incoming for him. So again, I encourage people to go over and check his content out. Give it a sub, comment on his video saying that you came from here and that you're saying hi. All right. Last week, in the group picks that we have for the Drop Zone podcast, I won last week with 110. Frank, mine and yours, Carl Walker, he got 100, and Tony got 90. We all picked the Rams against your Colts, which we were just barely right. Again, that team looked really, really good. Your Colts look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're ready for pick'ems. Everyone doubted my Steelers. Frank and Tony picked Vikings, and I went with my Steelers, and I was right. I was happy I was right. But then we all picked San Fran and Washington. We both got those two wrong. Washington is not looking good this year. I understand that they had Mariota in again, but they are not looking like the
They're not
same
ready.
team. Yeah,
Not ready.
like the same team in general as this year.
They overachieved a lot last year, I think.
Yeah, Frank, he went on a limb and he picked the Cardinals, and me and Anthony went with the Seahawks. We all picked Lions and the Patriots. We all got that right. I went with the Ravens, and so did Tony. But Frank, he went with the Chiefs. That was a good pick by him. And that stupid game with the tie.
Wentz wasn't that bad.
No,
Be
like, he
honest with
wasn't
you,
bad.
he wasn't that bad. He's been all right the first 2 weeks.
And again, our defense was very opportunistic. I mean, TJ Watt had a great snatch interception. That was a great pick.
That was nasty. That was nasty. How could you account for that?
Bro, like he got it with one hand, and like if he didn't do it, Cam Hayward was right there to do the same thing.
Did you see Dexter Lawrence's? His was similar too.
Yeah, it's just these linemen are just so talented now, and that they just read the defense or the offense so well. And then that stupid tie, nobody gets a win for that one.
Hate that.
And the Dolphins and the Jets. Tony went with the Jets. I went with the Dolphins. I just based off of talent. And speaking of Dolphins, Tyreek Hill, he fucking snapped the shit out of his leg. Hopefully for a speedy recovery for him. I mean,
I think that might be career ending. He's 32. It's a similar injury to what Tank Dell had last year. It's there's a fantasy doctor on YouTube actually. I always watch his videos. can't remember his name, but I think it's Jesse something. But he said that this is like a 14 or 15-month recovery, and there's a good chance that this is career ending.
Mm. Yeah, so hopefully for a recovery for him, but if not, that's just such a sad way to go out. Sad and painful way to go out. Bears and Raiders. Me and Tony went with the Bears, and Frank went with the Raiders. Man, I was out, and I should have known. I was so high on Jackson Dart, but I didn't pick the Giants in this game. I went with the Chargers. Frank and Tony went with their Giants, so they stuck together this week. And then in this next two games, Texans and the Broncos. We all picked the Texans Broncos. And I hated to do it, but I went against my guy Baker Mayfield, and so did Frank with the Eagles, and Tony did pick the Bucks. And then in last game, it was the Bills. We all picked the Bills there in that one. All right, now week 5. Like I said, this season's going by so quick. It always does, which is kind of upsetting. But it is week 5. I got no Steelers game to worry about, so that eases my plate off for a little bit. I don't got to be stressing out this weekend. I could just enjoy football. Niners, injury-ridden team. Which is crazy. They already rolled out Brock Purdy and a bunch of other guys. They're going against the Rams there on Thursday Night Football. I think it's Rams easily to me. Rams are just way too good and just so healthy right now that Niners just can't really compete with it.
Yep, I agree.
Vikings and Browns again. Starting Dylan Gabriel is a good thing. I'm a bit wary on it, so I'm going with the Vikings. I think that they win over there in London.
I'm going with Minnesota too. I might change that one though.
Yeah, like me too. I don't know. I'm like very on the fence about that. Again, I have confidence in Dylan Gabriel, but I don't know. With the first start of the season, like of his career, I don't know. Like I'm very lenient on it, so
Yeah,
we'll see. Raiders and Colts. I'm going with your Colts, man. You guys come back and beat the Raiders this week.
so sure. I think this is a game. Jonathan Taylor. I think I think JT goes for 150 plus in this game.
Me too. I think he's going to run over this Raiders defense to where Daniel Jones won't need to really do much of anything. If anything, he'll have maybe a bit over 200 passing yards and maybe 2 touchdowns. I think that's what Daniel Jones' stat line will be, which is exactly what you guys need. Giants and Saints. I'm going with the Giants. Jackson Dart starts 2-0. Again, Saints are a very good 0-4 team, but I think that Giants just keep carrying this momentum in with Jackson Dart and the new energy that they have in that offense.
Giants just got to stop that run, man. And the Saints can run the football well too. So, I hope the run defense could step up.
Yeah, again with Alvin Kamara and Kendrick Miller.
Oh.
Yeah. Cowboys Jets. This is a game that the Cowboys lose at least once a year. They're favored by an absolute fuck ton amount right now. But I'm going with the Cowboys against the Jets here. I mean, their offense is way too good. I understand that their defense is bad, but the Jets they're going to keep hurting themselves. Hall said at the end of that Dolphins game that they hurt themselves week in and week out, and they don't change anything about it, which is absolutely right. And when you have your star running back saying that, that's not a good thing for the head coach. So I'm going with the Cowboys there.
Yeah.
Same as you, Jay?
Yeah.
You're going with Cowboys? All right.
Yeah, I'm going Dallas.
All right. Well, you kind of hinted at this one earlier. Broncos and Eagles. I'm going to keep going with the Eagles until they lose.
Give me Denver.
Because they keep again finding ways to win. So I'm going with the Eagles at home. Again, Denver's a great team. Their offense seems to be kind of cooking right now. Eagles defense hasn't been what we really expected them to be at right now. So
I
we will
think
see how this
Bo
game
Nix is
goes.
going to shred that defense this weekend. I think he is going to have a day.
I mean, if he does, great. but I'm benching him in my very important fantasy league for Jared Goff. So I gotta hope he kind of poops. I mean, I am still starting Sutton, so I kind of do. I will be all right if he does not too bad. If Sutton gets a touchdown, I'll be all right in this game. But again, Eagles just keep finding a way to win. Until they lose, I will just keep picking them until they lose because you know I try to keep right in the high end. This is a very fucking crappy game. Dolphins and Panthers. I went with the Panthers. Just uh, they're at home. I don't know.
I'm going with the Dolphins because the Panthers can't get a pass rush going. You know, even though Dolphins don't have a good offensive line, I think the Dolphins run the ball well. I think Tua is going to have a game even without Tyreek. I think Jalen Waddle steps up nicely. You know, you have Ollie Gordon, Achane, both are capable of making big plays, and the Panthers can't protect Bryce Young very well. And I Dolphins defense is okay. It's not as bad as it looked the first couple weeks. But I think the Dolphins win this one, and I'm actually kind of confident about the Dolphins winning this one. But it could really go either way.
You made me change my mind. I went with the Dolphins. The more you're talking about it, I'm like,
Yeah.
no, no.
But then again, it's like what Panthers team are we going to get too? Like we saw them beat the Falcons 30-0. How? And then it's just last game with the insane special teams crap. I don't know. But
No, I just don't trust Bryce Young. I think he's just
I've been so
he hasn't.
disappointed in him this year.
Yeah, he has not looked great this year. So I think Tua outperforms him. And again, like you said, that Dolphins defense is better than the Panthers. Texans Ravens. I'm going to win with the Texans. A lot of people are still picking the Ravens. I can't pick the Ravens right now. Having Cooper Rush out there with a pretty damn good Texas defense. CJ Stroud, I think he'll have a good game. Again, Ravens defense is not like the typical Ravens defense that we are used to. When stuff in the pass, stuff in the run, they are just kind of giving up anything and everything to every team that they play against. Again, other than the Browns, which I don't really want to even count that game, but I have to. Uh, but again, I'm going with the Texans. I think
Agreed.
again until Lamar comes back, I don't think they really stand a chance against really anybody unless they give it to Henry about
40 times a game.
Yeah, and then he might fumble 3 times out of the 40.
Shots fired.
I mean, unless they do that, I mean, I don't think they win this game. Titans and Cardinals. I'm going to win with the Cardinals. Titans are, I think, worst team in the NFL.
This is my upset pick
really
of the week.
bad.
I'm taking Titans.
You're with Titans.
Upset.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Bucks and Seahawks. I'm going with my guy Baker. He's having a bounce back win against a tough Seattle team. But I mean, I just like him. I like Baker a lot. Again, with no Mike Evans, with no Mike Evans, it's kind of wary on that. But Chris Godwin and Bucky Irving, he's on the questionable side. He might not play. So it's a lot of question marks there with the Bucks, but I'm still going with them. I have a lot of confidence in Baker and that team, in my opinion. You go with Seahawks?
Yeah. I'm going Seahawks because I love Baker Mayfield and all, but I just don't think he's going to be able to overcome. I don't think that offense is going to be able to overcome the Seahawks defense. That Seahawks defense is flying all over. Absolutely incredible defense. I just don't think they're going to be able to get too much done. I think the Seahawks make that extra play. So give me Seattle.
All right, and Detroit and the Bengals. Again, that's why I'm starting
Cincinnati.
Yeah, okay. This is why I'm starting Jared Goff. This Bengals defense is really, really bad. It's not a great defense. Let's say that it is not a good defense. I think Jared Goff could be able to pass the ball wherever he wants to. Gibbs and Montgomery, they're going to have a field day running the ball as much as they want. So, again, and the whole Bengals team really just isn't that great right now. Commanders and Chargers. I went with the Chargers. I know that Jane Daniels did practice today, and he's kind of cleared to practice, but I don't know. I'm very kind of worried about. It's a knee injury with a mobile quarterback. You have to be careful with that. In this Chargers defense, and this, as Tony just said, Chargers bounce back win after losing to the Giants. And again, it's just they have such a good team. It is well coached. Other than some of the play calling that they did in the Giants game, it is such a well coached team with offensively, defensively. So I'm going with the Chargers this week.
Me too. I'm going Chargers too. Offensive line worries me. They lost Joe Alt and Slater now for the year, so both of their tackles are out, and then they're having an issue with some of their guards. So another team with just so many injury issues, but Justin Herbert is going to be too much for that Washington defense, man. I mean, Lad McConkey, Quentin Johnston's been playing well. Chargers defense is going to hold them low, and even if Jaden Daniels does play, does he give you the better chance? Because he's not really going to be able to move. He's going to be limited in terms of mobility, and that's half of his game. So, give me LA all day.
Yeah, and I'm using the Chargers in my eliminator pick'em, so I'm obviously 4-0. So I'm going with them. I'm going with very confident. A lot of people are picking Bills this week. I just
No, do not
I
pick the
know,
Bills this
I
week.
know,
Not
I
a good
know.
idea.
I'm very scared of that. That's I will tell you that's Frank's pick for the Eliminator Challenge.
You better
One of
change it. He better
yeah, I
change
know.
it.
I know. And one of his pools, he's going with the Bills. I'm like, I don't know, man. Patriots, Bills. I mean, I still pick the Bills in this, in the pigskin pick them because it's not costing me money.
So, sorry. Go ahead. Did I cut you off? Go ahead.
It's the AFC East. They play each other so well, so tough all the time, and the Bills are on such a high right now that it's like I just feel like the Patriots might just smack them in the face and just be like, "No, we're gonna win like 24-25."
Yeah. So,
And oh, you go ahead. You're good.
my thing with the Bills, though, I mean, look at who they've beaten. They've beaten a 1-3 Baltimore, and they were fortunate to come back and win that game. The Jets, they beat up on the Jets pretty good. That's really the only team they beat up on. The Dolphins were in that game on Thursday Night Football for majority of the game. They got the pick six late, and then the Saints were in it all game too. So what? You beat 2-0-4, 2-3 was it? The Dolphins have one win now, but at the time it was only the Ravens and Dolphins are only teams that have wins that they beat, and they only have one win. We see how the Ravens are looking. I think the Dolphins are better than what people give them credit for. And the Dolphins stayed in that game. The Saints stayed in that game. The Bills' defense is very, very suspect. Very suspect. And it's mainly that run defense. They are second worst in the league right now. I think they're allowing like 156 or 7 rushing yards per game. Not good. The Patriots can run the football. Trayvon Henderson looks good. Ramondre Stevenson, if he doesn't fumble the football.
Daniel Gibson.
Drake May is playing good. I might have to eat my words on Drake May pretty soon because he's looking all right. Patriots special teams is on point, and the Patriots always find a way to sneak one out against the Bills every single year. The only thing is the Bills are wearing the Rivals uniforms at home on Sunday Night Football. So the debut of the Rivals uniform is pretty cool, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Patriots spoil it. Right now I'm picking the Bills, but I am not very confident in picking the Bills, to be honest with you. Like, they're 0-4, yeah, but look at who they've beaten. And how close those other teams kept it except for the Jets. And the win versus the Ravens is not looking as impressive anymore. It's like they're still a damn good football team. Yeah. For not playing at your best and still being 4-0, still scoring 30 plus 40 points a game is still impressive. That that says something, but I want to see that game from the Bills where they and they did it versus the Jets, but I want to see but I need to see a little more from the Bills defense, really. That's my thing.
I mean, again, and this Patriots defense is not a bad defense.
No.
They can fly all around the field. So, again, I would not pick them in any pool to win money out of. I mean, this is just a very trap game, sort of, to where.
And the Bills are favored by like a touchdown, which is wild to me. But
yeah, and like on this, it's 97-3. in the picking. I'm fixing pick 'em. So, and again, you kind of gave an inkling on this last game, Monday Night Football, Chiefs and Jags in Jacksonville. Jacksonville seems to play worse at home in the most recent years, which is
Unless they're
kind of
playing the
weird.
Colts.
Yeah, like they play really bad at home. Again, like Jay said, unless they're playing the Colts, so they're not playing the Colts. They're playing the Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs. To me, I think they're back right now. I understand this is a good Jacksonville Jaguars offense defense, but I just think that the Chiefs are back at the moment, and they're just going to keep riding the hot wave. Yeah, I mean maybe, but again, I just see that they're back. They definitely need to stop the run a lot better this game. Again with ETN. In the backfield for Jacksonville. So, again, I wouldn't be shocked if the Jags win this game. I'll be honest, but I'm definitely going with the Chiefs just based off of the recent success in these past 2 weeks, and I think they just keep carrying that. And to this Monday Night Football game, all lights are on them, all eyes on them, in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see the Chiefs winning this game. But I think it's a bad matchup for the Chiefs. The Chiefs have struggled to run the football, struggling to stop the football, or to stop the run. And the Jaguars with Travis Etienne looks like one of the best backs in the league right now. Hashtag pay Etienne. They let him go. If they end up paying Trevor Lawrence all that money and then you don't pay Travis Etienne all that money, you got some issues. But you got to keep ETN. But I think ETN runs absolutely wild. It's just can Trevor. I think the biggest weakness on this Jaguars team is Trevor Lawrence. I like this is a good Jaguars team. You know they're Trayvon Walker is questionable too, and he might not play. And I don't think he's gonna be 100%. So if Trayvon Walker doesn't play, I will probably switch to the Chiefs. But the Jaguars are looking good. I really think they're a quarterback away. Trevor Lawrence. If Trevor Lawrence can stay out of his own way, then the Jaguars are a team that could still win the AFC South themselves, and they could still really. I mean, watch out. I'm just saying the Jaguars are really interesting. It's a team that you can't scoff at. You can't just look at the Jaguars and be like, hey, and I know they're 3-1. And some people would think that 3-1 is not warranted, that they're not as good as that, but I think they are. I just think Trevor Lawrence is holding them back more than anything. But yeah, I mean, give me Jacksonville.
And we'll see if Trevor Lawrence can have a head-to-head matchup against Pat Mahomes, and he can match him each and every drive, which is tough to do against Pat Mahomes. But yeah, Lawrence, I've been saying, isn't the best in the consistency category. Again, like you said, he does get in his own way a lot of the times. And I think this new Jaguars head coach has them playing a different sort of way, which is what they needed in a very long time. Liam Cohen is doing an excellent job with this Jaguars team right now. So yeah, that's all the picks this week and going into week 5. Again, a good podcast, a good episode. Jay, I appreciate you coming on and being my co-host here today. Again, Tony, we hope that you feel better soon. See you again, hopefully next week. He's getting a bunch of tests done on him to see what's going on. Jay, I hope that you're feeling a bit better. I know you're dealing with stuff as well. And I will say that again, our sponsor, if I can get the thing up, give me a second. I don't do this all the time. Yes, we hope that you are back next week. So again, our sponsor Dubby, if you use our code Drop Zone on their website when you buy anything, you can get 10% off your order. And once again, our clothing brand, our website, man, I'm drawing a blank. SportsElitewear.com. You can get 15% off your order, any order over $35 pre-tax, using our promo code JobZone as well. Please go check out all that stuff again, and check out Jay's channel, please.
Gotcha, Tony. I just don't thank me. It's what I'm here for. I'm just hoping that you feel better soon. That you get better soon, man. That's it. But I got you,
Yes.
man. You don't need to thank me. It's what I'm here for. I got you.
Yes, absolutely. And again, check out Jay's channel, please. Anybody watching, go over on YouTube, JDW Sports Network. Again, post some great content, great football knowledge out of the brain of Jay Dan. Again, I don't know if you have any closing remarks, Jay, and then I will send it off.
Go Colts. That's it.
Yep. Go Colts. Again, once again, thank you for tuning in. Again, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and those post notification bells. We will be back next week.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. I feel like I needed one. I'm like rebranding, trying to get everything in like network format, like a little more. I just felt like a change was needed, but we got it. We're working on it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, like, it looks good in the back there, Tony or Jay.
Thank
It looks good back there. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Be back next week, 7 p.m. Wednesday. We will be chopping it up about week 5 in the
We'll
NFL.
get to talk about the Steelers again next week. You'll be able to be a little stressed out next week.
Yeah. And then I'll be fine this upcoming week. I don't got stressed about nothing.
You guys got the Colts coming up in a few weeks too.
Yeah, we're gonna stomp you. I mean, I'm just fucking. Yeah. All right. Again, thanks again for tuning in. It's been me, Jeff Walsh, and JDW, also known as Jason. See you guys next week. Bye.
I'll see y'all.